Hey guys, welcome to another video. Today I'm going to show you how I mixed and mastered this track called Love by an artist named Crasher. Alright, without further ado, before we get started in actually breaking down and decoding the whole mix, I'm going to play you a bit of the track with the effects enabled and without the effects enabled. So first with the effects enabled. Let's play it from about just here.
Not one soul that I trust no more. Look.
Yo, Cole, is that you in the mix? This is cold.
I don't even show love no more. Cause no one ever show man love. Not one soul that I trust no more. Cause I see through all of them hugs, I feel like I can't keep up no more. The take away pain, I gotta roll this scud. Love, that ain't a must no more. I just wanna trap stack bread till I'm up. I just wanna trap stack bread till I made it.
Right, that's how the track sounds like with all the effects enabled. Now I'm gonna play the track without any of the effects enabled so you can see how it sounded like when we just kind of recorded it. And yeah, let's play it again.
Not one soul that I trust no more. Look.
Yo, Cole, is that you in the mix? This is cold.
I don't even show love no more. Cause no one ever showed man love. Not one soul that I trust no more. Cause I see through all of them hugs, I feel like I can't keep up no more. The take away pain, I gotta roll this scud. Love, that ain't a must no more. I just wanna trap stack bread till I'm up. I just wanna trap stack bread till I made it.
Alright, okay, so that's how the track sounds like without any of the effects enabled. Now, let me kind of tell you a bit of information here, give you some information. When I recorded this track, I kind of wanted, now in today's day and age, what I'm noticing my mixes, I kind of want to go for that type of natural sounding sounds, you know? So what does natural sounding sound even mean? It's like, what I mean is that I don't like to overly process to the point where it's like, yeah, there's a lot of compression to the point where you can't really hear the dynamics and whatnot. I kind of want to present to you how the artist actually sounds like when if they were actually to rap live. Okay, so I just like things sound natural and not too overly compressed, not too overly EQ, not too overly processed and all that type of stuff. All right, and I found that I can do that and achieve the results that I'm looking for with the plugins I already have. Okay, so that's what you kind of see if you look at all my videos. You kind of see that, yeah, the type of plugins I use are kind of consistent with the type of sound I'm actually producing. Okay, so regardless of that point, let's get into it. Okay, so how was this track mixed? So let's kind of look at the mixer first, the organization of the mixer. Vocal bus, lead vocal, vocal dubs, ad-libs, intro, and I've got the sends here. So I'm gonna kind of just color these into a specific color so you can see that these are just actual individual. These are just the actual vocals that are routed into the vocal bus. Okay, so if you don't know what the vocal bus is essentially the group of which houses all these other individual tracks. Okay, the lead vocal here, it's the lead vocal, then the lead vocal part 2, not part 2 but just like the second layer of the lead vocal, because you don't want it to overlap in a sense. If it overlaps, then I don't like that. But of course here, of course I can bring it up there, but it's mainly just the reason why I kind of create a Vox 2 here. It's still rooted into the lead vocal so that it doesn't overlap like that. Okay, and then that's the lead vocal. The vocal dubs is the background vocals. Essentially that's all it is, and after I just bring it in, just I make sure the volume is not so loud, but you can also so that it's audible as well. And then the ad-libs, of course, you know what ad-libs, there weren't any ad-libs here recorded, but I think I actually used the intro bit, and then the intro is basically the ad-libs here, if you actually look at it from here.
Yo.
So let's re-enable all the effects, okay, and then I have to kind of show you bit by bit. Okay, so if you look at the beat is here. I made some changes to the beat just when it came to this bit here, so you can see the beat, it's normal. Then when it came to bar 49, I kind of switched up the beat. I just double clicked the beat itself and then reduced the pitch so it actually pitches down a whole octave down. So this is how it sounds like, that transition from the normal beat to the transitioned beat, or to the altered beats. Just like that. And then if you actually play that with the vocal altogether, it sounds like this.
So I roll with a samurai faithfully. They all say, yo, you got talent, but I don't really see it if I'm gonna be honest. From young, always been ironic how they never showed love till they see man popping.
Okay, so that's kind of the main thing there. Alright, so now I think the main important thing here on this mix is the vocal mix in itself. With the beat itself, I did not do anything to the beat itself. I did not add any effects or nothing like that. Of course, it depends on the track that you're mixing, but on here, this instance, I didn't actually do anything to the beat. The vocal bus is where the majority of the work is happening. And of course, some on the lead vocal, on the vocal dubs and ad-libs. Okay, on the lead vocal, if we play it without if just solo the lead vocal itself, this is how it sounds like.
I don't even show love no more. Cause no one ever show man love. Not one soul that I trust no more. Cause I see through all of them hugs, I feel like I can't keep up no more.
First thing I added was EQ. Okay, you want to always EQ your lead vocal. I always take out a bit of the low end initially, and that's kind of the main thing I kind of do. You kind of also go around this the mid range and kind of tweak things a bit there, but I kind of just mainly just tweaked, just removed some of the low end there. Okay.
I don't even show love no more.
And then after I've done that, I added this filter compressor just to compress the vocals a tad bit. And these are the settings I use for this filter compressor.
I don't even show love no more. Cause no one ever show man love.
So without those two effects, it sounds like this.
I don't even show love no more. Cause no one ever show man love.
You can see it sounds just louder, but I just kind of compressed a bit of the dynamics, and it's just biting it, controlling it a little bit like that. And the vocal dubs itself, this is how I mix the vocal dubs. Okay, so if I just showed the vocal dubs.
I don't even show love no more. Cause no one ever showed man love. Not what.
Okay, so the first thing I added was some EQ. I added this EQ to kind of give it like a bright sound, so it sounds different from the lead vocal itself. I added Ozone Imager 2 as always, to kind of always spread it out.
I don't even show love no.
Then I added a compressor to kind of glue it in together. Okay, and this is how the compressor sounds like. And you can see the settings here.
I don't even show love no more. Cause no one ever showed man love. No.
Okay, you're probably also hearing some reverb. You can also hear some reverb on the lead vocal itself. So let's play the lead vocal just only enough to play the reverb itself as well.
I don't even show love no more.
So if I mute the reverb bus itself.
I don't even show love no more.
So the reverb actually gives it a bit of character and spice, okay? So the reverb on there, I added the Valhalla vintage verb, and these are the settings.
I don't even show love no more.
And it's just sent in, the mix signal is just mixed in just a tad bit.
I don't even show love no more. Cause no one ever show man love. Not one soul that
okay, that's just like that. Okay, same thing with the vocal dubs. I just sent that to the reverb as well, but had added more reverb to the vocal dub so it can sound larger because it's in the background, so I don't want it to be so high up in the mix.
I don't even show love no more. Cause no one ever show man love. Not one soul that I trust no more. Cause I see through all of them hugs, I feel like I can't keep up no more.
Yeah, in this instance, of course, I think the vocal dubs were literally, it's almost every single line was recorded the vocal dubs. I didn't actually mute any part of the vocal dubs, but it kind of gave it character because I just reduced the vocal dubs, the level of the vocal dubs itself, and didn't make it so loud like that. Adlibs itself, it was just this list, the intro. I don't think it was rooted. Nah, I don't think I did. It actually was, was it? Let's see. Yeah, there was. Okay, so these are the settings for the adlibs. Typical EQ, presets, right click, radio, that's it. And then compressed it kind of hard with this filter limiter. Okay, that's how I did the adlibs there. Then of course the adlibs are rooted into the delay and to the reverb send. So with the delay itself, it's just a standard rooted delay. If you check out the UK Dual Vocal Preset Pack 3rd edition, these are the settings here for the adlibs itself. And then delay is rooted into here. So this is how it sounds like, and the pancake 2 on the delay. And then added a gain like a compressor. I just gained it up a little bit.
Sound different.
That's how it sounds like, okay? So it's mainly just the adlibs just kind of feeding a lot into the delay itself. Then if we look at the mix tag, my mix tag, I just added these effects.
Yo, Cole, is that you in the mix? This is cold.
Without the effects, without none of the effects enabled on the mix tag.
Yo, Cole, is that you in the mix? This is cold.
So you can see what it does there. Compressor, EQ, and pancake 2.
Yo, Cole, is that you in the mix? This is cold.
Okay, so if you ever want to know how to mix your mix tag, just kind of basic stuff, just make it sound nice, right? By adding EQ and compression. EQ it depending on the actual recording itself. Okay, so those are the lead vocal dubs, adlibs, intro, and everything else here. And that's simply it for the actual individual recording. And then the vocal bus is where the majority actually happens. So if you look at the UKG Vocal Preset Pack 3rd edition, the vocal bus already comes preset with these kind of 1, 2, 3, 4, the colored ones. I didn't use none of them because I wanted to use the high-end plugins to give me this sound. Okay, so the first thing I did, so if we play without any of the effects,
Yo, Cole.
just go to like this bit here.
Let's
play with the beat as well.
I just wanna trap stack bread till I made it.
Let's play from here.
Mum used to work to provide, but there was still times that she had to skip brekkie. Used to go to school with an empty belly till I hit the trap. Now my pockets ain't empty.
So it's sounding kind of nice and neat for me. I decided that needs a bit more. It needs a bit more compression, right? So at first thing I added the RVox stereo, okay, and this is the effects I added here.
Mum used to work to provide, but there was still times that she had to skip brekkie. Used to go to school with an empty belly till I hit the trap. Now my pockets ain't empty.
The reason why I like this is because the level of compression it provides for just kind of a few parameters is powerful. I just use the comp and the gain. So as I reduce the compression here, the threshold itself, the gain kind of increases, and all I need to do is just decrease the gain just like that.
Mum used to work to provide, but
So without it,
Mum used to work to provide, but there were still times that she had to skip brekkie.
with it,
Mum used to work to provide, but there were still times that she had to skip brekkie.
it allows it to kind of sit down just a bit further within the mix itself. That's why I like it. The next thing I added was the Fab Filter Pro Q. Again, kind of EQ, but this time I EQ'd it a bit more surgically because the vocal dubs wasn't so apparent and so present in the actual mix itself. I could afford to actually just go about EQing this way for the overall vocal bus, because the lead vocal is the main thing and the main focus for this mix.
Mum used to work to provide, but there were still times that she had to skip brekkie. Used to go to school with an empty belly till I hit the track, now my pockets ain't empty. I know he wants to fuck with a gang again.
This EQ is actually a bit more of a, it goes for more of a lighter sound effect on the vocal itself, so you can tell that kind of the way that the low end was much more low end was actually taken out, and a bit of the low mid range here to kind of give it that bit more clarity, that boost in clarity, and just kind of a nice light sound and neutral natural type sound, you know, not a lot of low end and bass, you know. I think this type of track itself didn't really call for it, so that's kind of why. Alright, so after that first EQ that I added on the vocal bus there, I decided to add this F6 RTA stereo EQ. And this one kind of is dynamic EQ. So the first one I added was kind of just like a static EQ. And the reason why I'm adding this straight after is because I kind of wanted to use it almost like a de-esser and just kind of get fine-tuned in certain areas which I kind of, which the other EQ probably didn't do the greatest job at doing. Because this is dynamic EQ. So let's play without the dynamic EQ, then play with the dynamic EQ.
Mum used to work to provide, but there were still times that she had to skip brekkie. Used to go to school with an empty belly.
Now with the F6 EQ, dynamic EQ.
Mum used to work to provide, but there were still times that she had to skip brekkie. Used to go to school with an empty belly till I hit the track, now my pockets ain't empty. I know he wants to fuck with a gang again. Whose fault is it that?
And the good thing about these vocals, you can if you kind of listen closely in, you can kind of tell that the balance between the actual beat and the vocals itself, like you can tell that they're not necessarily clashing EQ wise and frequency wise because of the way I actually EQ the beat itself, or not the beat, the vocals itself. So that's kind of an interesting fact there. This is not actually really doing much if you actually think about it. It's actually just kind of taming a bit of the high end there and just reducing more of the lows there to kind of give it more of a lighter sound. Okay, that's essentially what it's doing here. Then of course I added this de-esser here and kind of de-ess some of the highs and the sibilance.
Mum used to work to provide, but there were still times that she had to skip brekkie. Used to go to school.
It's kind of simple, just, you know, set it at the threshold, not too much where it's kind of like getting rid of all of the highs and all that type of stuff. So that's that there, and that's essentially the vocal bus in a nutshell. Like, it's as simple as that. And the master itself, of course, the UK Dual Vocal Preset Pack 3 comes with these kind of presets there. I kind of just disabled that, or took that off, and added my own SSL comp. I like using this.
Mum used to work.
Let's play it now. Let's play it with the master enabled. So bass rate is going to get a bit louder.
Mum used to work to provide, but there were still times that she had to skip brekkie. Used to go to school with an empty.
So basically this SSL comp is basically kind of compressing it. It's like a bus compressor. It compresses it a bit. And these are the settings I used here.
Mum used to work to provide, but there was
without it.
Mum used to work to provide, but there were still times that she had to skip brekkie. Used to go to school
with it.
Mum used to work to
hold on, wrong one. This one.
Mum used to work to provide, but there were still times that she had to skip brekkie. Used to go to school.
It just kind of gives it a much more controlled sound because it's actually compressing everything at the same time, the whole track at the same time. So that's why I really like it. I use it all the time for the master. Then I added this Ozone 9 elements, and now I keep it simple and just kind of keep it as that. So the EQ, this is the EQ effects is doing. This is the maximizer, ceiling -1 dB. I like to leave it at that. It works for me. Threshold -5.5, and let's play it.
Mum used to work to provide, but there were still times that she had to skip brekkie. Used to go to school with an empty belly till I hit the track, now my pockets ain't empty. I know he wants to fuck with a gang again. Whose fault is it that they love envy?
Yeah, and that's kind of mainly it, you know. That's kind of mainly how the track was mixed. Wasn't too much. Wasn't like a just a stock plugin mix itself. But you can kind of tell that generally speaking, I kind of use these kind of plugins. And of course, there's other plugins that out there that you can possibly use to kind of further enhance the track itself. But that's kind of how I did the main thing there. You can also tell that in this track, the type of vibe of the track itself, I didn't use so many like vocal effects like stutters and beat manipulation. I mean, I did just this beat manipulation there. But apart from that, there wasn't any like major vocal effects and whatnot. It's just kind of a simple track so that you can actually pay attention to the vocals. Because what I've noticed, if you do add a lot of effects, like it's like a performance. You're editing a performance and you're just, you know, but it's well and it's good for different types of tracks. But I think this type of track didn't really call for that, and I think this one you kind of actually is this type of track you're supposed to pay attention to the actual lyrics and the lyrical content and the vibe of the track and whatnot, I guess. So that's kind of that there. If you get the UK Drew Vocal Preset Pack 3rd edition, which is free, you can get this template. Of course, not with the premium plugins, but of course for the stock plugins you can get so, and it'll sound amazing right off the bat. Of course, you have the reverb send and the delay send as well. You fully utilize that. It's just the easiest way. And everything else, that's essentially it. So vocal bus, that's where the majority of the effects are. I guess sometimes it depends on the layering or what's after or what's before, what effect is actually before and after. I guess that kind of does play a role as well. It depends. Sometimes I EQ before, sometimes I compress before. You can kind of tell here I EQ'd before I compressed here. So I like to always kind of compress the individual. For example, if these individual tracks here, I kind of EQ and compress them slightly, not too much, just slightly, so that it sounds right off the bat, sounds nice. Okay. And one other important thing I think when it comes to just even recording or mixing and mastering, I prefer to mix and master vocals that are quality, that are high in quality, like vocal recordings. For example, if the client sends me a track and say, hey, can you mix this track for me? If the vocal recorder is not up to par, I can't guarantee a great mix, because a great mix is determined based on the quality of the vocal recording. So that's why I always kind of aim for nice quality vocal recordings right off the bat. And you can tell here the way it was recorded sounds amazing. Also, on the ending notes, you can mix this track if you want to. It's just subscribe to the vocal multi-track library and you can mix this as a part of the vocal multi-track. This is the vocal multi-track 51, link in the description. You can go and check that out as well. But let's play the track now, and let's kind of end it off here. Let's play it around here.
And I got scars that I really gotta stay with, man. They keep asking me why am I like this. When I lost bro, I lost my heart, can't find it. Bro's telling me in all due timing, so I write down my pain in the rhymes I'm writing. Demons in my head telling me to go rise it. Whip does mileage, but none of us license. I'm trying to right my wrongs like Bryson. I can't stop jogging and I won't stop shining. They don't wanna see me doing it.
Alright, so if you guys enjoyed this video, please leave a like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.